smiles of SpongeBob.
Yeah,
and
they
Patrick.
kind of looked weird at first when you watch it, but then it started to feel natural, I feel like.
Just faded away into the background.
And they would do strange kind of animations over the game as well. If like someone caught a catch, it would be like slime, or there would be like they would draw on the plays as it was happening. It was good. I liked it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of like teaching it for kids, right?
Yeah.
Because I know we've been watching Nickelodeon. Jack and I were staying
we were
at
at a wedding. And
we were staying at a hotel for a wedding,
Man.
and we just had SpongeBob on at all times at that hotel because it was just an all SpongeBob network.
Yeah.
And we're seeing what's going on in Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing about being in a hotel is like the networks that you can't get,
Yeah.
like SpongeBob Network. Like, yeah, you can go to a hotel room and just watch SpongeBob all day.
It really was wonderful. We did not leave that hotel room. We stayed there for all hours. We didn't even attend the wedding.
No, we see the wedding. We're doing a SpongeBob.
No.
But it was interesting to see the new episodes of SpongeBob, and it made it so worth it to go, all the way to Michigan for a wedding that we didn't attend.
Right, because you heard, oh, the hotel has SpongeBob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I feel like the latest arc has been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. These season arcs, they killed off Mr. Krabs.
No.
Yeah, they murdered him.
No, did they?
No.
This must be like a Brian thing.
A Brian thing? Oh,
They
yeah,
killed
yeah.
Brian and Family Guy, and they
Yes.
brought him back shortly.
Yeah, they brought him back shortly thereafter.
I thought he was really dead when I was like 11 watching that movie.
That was a big deal.
That was a big deal. That took the nation by storm. But speaking of taking the nation by storm, we have Nathan
We got Nathan Blinn
Blinn with
over
us.
here.
Amazing writer, comedian, performer.
Improv class taker, improviser outside of
Yes.
that.
Do you do improv as well?
I'm not doing improv anymore. I was doing it for like a year or two, but it's just like other things were kind of pulling me in those directions.
Yeah.
So
You're more in sketch lands through
Yeah.
preparation.
I feel like
Is
that's-
Ghost Girl still
Ghost
riding
Girls
strong?
Ghost Girls still doing their thing. We're going on for the next season. I'll be performing a little more, which is going to be exciting.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
it's going to be good. But yeah, what about you all?
That's
Well, we've been prosing.
Yeah, we've been doing our
Yeah.
like system for writing the making 5 like great character sets. How we feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We created this acronym over there on the whiteboard.
It's out of frame, but I'll show the back of the whiteboard.
Yeah, it's too. That's the secret formula. We can't show it on the podcast.
Yeah,
Only those who are
Yeah,
present
no,
see it.
you can't spoil the magic.
No.
Yeah.
But-
Someone would find this and steal the secret formula. This is our crabs moment. Our
Yeah,
Mr. Krabs.
I'm just really worried about a plankton in our lives.
Yeah.
A certain plankton. And I don't mean to be, I'm looking at you because you're our guest. I'm not saying you would be the plankton
No,
stealing
no,
our
you-
formula.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes in my head, my photographic memory.
This is very plankton.
With the end of
Yeah.
this podcast, we have like a Men in Black like device, which go, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
forget everything.
You're doing 5 great sketches. Are you gonna pull a Tarantino? Or are you gonna make like 2 of them like one movie?
Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, well, one of them is never going to come out because we're such perfectionists and because we limited
You
ourselves.
can't quit while you're on top.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though the whole point, we make such a big stink about how we have to quit while we're on top because otherwise we will get worse. So then we just never finish.
Of course.
Yeah, as all good artists do.
Yeah, they just never finish anything. They make 9 projects and then like tap out.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, I don't know, do interviews on Bill Maher and
Yeah, we were saying how you know Bill Maher's podcast Club Random?
Club Random.
Yeah, it's
Fuck.
it's
Why didn't I think of that name?
it's atrocious,
I
but
bet.
it's also I love it. It's so good.
we really talk about Bill Maher every week
We
on this
shouldn't talk
podcast.
about.
now.
We can't give him another. We can't give him another.
We keep
second
talking
of our
about Club
time.
Random.
Our
Don't promote other podcasts. Don't.
Our
promote
2
other
listeners are
podcasts.
sick of it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But also to finish answering your question, as far as our like performing stuff, once we're done with, because we just want like 5 sets, like about like 25, 30 minutes worth of sketch material that like is great. Once we're done with that, I think we're gonna kind of go more like TikTok reels, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
go on
do more
the charm offensive.
The
The charm
yeah,
offensive.
The charm offensive.
The
Yeah.
Charm Offensive. That's the next
Yeah.
stage in the
That's the next
crusade.
stage in the process.
Yeah.
Comedy Crusade.
Currently, we're on the
Yeah.
Comedy Crusade. Yes, it's the prosy, and then it's the charm offensive.
Yeah.
But this, you're not here to interview us.
No, yeah.
No.
How dare you ask us a question on our podcast?
How
Oh.
dare you?
What if we had a glass of water on the table? Here's another podcast idea. We should maybe do this for our secret audio program thing we're doing. A podcast where there's a glass of water, and it sits there, and there's like some mechanism where someone gets splashed with the
Yeah.
glass.
You never know when though.
Never
so
know
it's
when.
Just like, it's just the tension.
Motherfucking podcast prank show.
Ooh, prank podcast.
Yeah.
Prank
Nathan,
podcast.
we should start that. That's
It's sort of.
that's
It's very like Eric Andre,
great.
like
The prank cast.
the prank cast.
Yeah.
You never know how we're gonna fuck with you.
I guess
You
it's just
know.
the Eric Andre show
Yeah.
for a podcast, kind of.
Yeah, sorta. Except the first few seasons, right? Like people didn't know what it was.
Did you watch the Eric Andre show on anything?
Yeah, I watch a bit of it.
Oh, I'm such a fan.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good. I feel like if we're starting a prank podcast,
Mm-hmm.
we gotta think of some good pranks here.
Yeah.
First off, I'm thinking sliming the guest.
Yeah, we got Absolute
Yeah.
Slimer. Totally.
I think second, I'm thinking we slime the guests.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
like
we
that.
slime him.
You have a third idea.
I think we should melt the guest, turn them into slime, and slime the next guest.
That's pretty good. I like the second
Oh.
half of that. I like the part where the guest gets
Slime.
slimed.
Okay, maybe.
I don't
so
know about
let's
the
cut
first part.
So third thing, they
We're
get
not, we can't
slime
kill
them.
any guests on the podcast.
Yeah,
The
they're
prank
not allowed to
podcast.
do that. That's not. We're in a.
We
There are
could
laws.
maybe take their spit, turn it into slime.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
think we
I
could-
mean, the
we
cool
could-
part about that is that then that someone could be slimed with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm into that. I'm not that
So-
interested in slime production. For me, that's you can buy slime in bulk.
You can
not
buy slime
interested-
in bulk.
You're not into slime production?
Not the production of it. What
Ever
interests
see those
me
videos
as
of
far
people
as
making
pranks.
slime?
Yeah,
And-
that's all I'm
That's
watching.
its whole.
man.
That's an entire industry in itself.
I think that's good for
Yes.
them. To me, what's more interesting is seeing suckers get slimed.
That's
on
fine,
the
but
daily.
we got to tap into both markets.
wow.
we gotta
holy
make the
shit. vertical
TikToks.
integration.
All our advertisement is just slime videos.
Yes.
And then the podcast itself, we're force feeding people slime. We're
Wait,
putting them
can
in
you eat-
slime baths.
Can you eat slime and Nickelodeon slime and those slimes?
It's
are they-
probably non-toxic.
You can't, but I'm creating a kind of slime that you can eat.
I think we should make toxic slime also
Ooh, that'd be
for our
fun.
guests.
Poison slime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a slime production facility in this room.
Yeah, I think we could get like a sweatshop. I mean a
Internship
low
program.
cost internship program. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and just get a bunch of children who need to work
Right.
with their hands, who are looking to make their hands more muscular.
Looking for college credit.
Yep, looking for college
Yeah.
credit.
I mean, because their hands are just so much more agile and adept
Absolutely.
at making slime.
Yeah.
And they're probably attending a SUNY school, and
Yeah.
they an internship would be like the perfect thing to add to the resume.
Yeah, it's great exposure.
Yeah,
Great
You're-
skills.
Yeah.
You learn an amazing skill.
an amazing skill.
You can take that to the top of the career ladder, slime making.
Hell.
That's a practice at the highest levels of business.
And then eventually this becomes sort of like one of those like sought after internships, and then we only take kids from Ivy League schools. Then it's
Whoa.
just like Cornell students from now on.
I actually
Yeah.
love the idea of like
It becomes a paid internship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
well stipend.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
have-
Does stipend mean that it gets a stipend or it has been stipend?
No, I was saying
Like,
like,
it's
we
like
don't
there was a
pay them
stipe.
hourly. We give them a stipend of
Sure.
like a few bucks for like a lunch or like a
Yeah, they get free lunch.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have enough to maybe walk around town.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let
Yeah.
them walk around town.
Yep.
Supervised.
But we
Yeah.
keep them on a leash. We
Keep
keep them on a
leash.
tight leash.
Make them
These
wear the
Cornell
GoPro.
kids, tight leash.
Because
Yeah.
Cornell kids have been known to act out.
Yeah.
They-
Oh, yeah, you don't need to tell me twice.
Yeah.
All right, did you go to Cornell?
No,
Oh.
but I know those Cornell
Those
kids.
Cornell boys. That's like it's a street gang we start. The
Yeah.
Cornell boys.
We've had a Cornell grad on our podcast before.
Is that true?
Skylar.
Oh, wow. Skylar. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, and I know how Skylar is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gross.
he acts out.
He does.
Yeah.
He causes problems, and we keep him on a tight leash.
We do. This is
Yeah.
kind of a totem. We
Yeah.
talked about. I
On-
went
on
to this
air.
Mets game. I'm holding this for the Just Listeners only. I'm holding a Mets cup, and Skylar, we were at this game with him,
Yeah.
and so he's in our hearts. The Cornell boys live on.
Yeah, so I think so. It's kind of proof that when we like talk about doing something in this podcast, it's not just
do
like a
it.
joke.
We do
It's
it.
not just bits. Okay, it's sometimes we really mean to do it, and in this case, that's vertically integrating our slime business. The three of us.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of slime, I think it's high slime that
Ooh,
we
got
get
some topics.
that we get some
Nathan, have
topics
do you
generated.
know the format of this podcast? I don't know
we
if
should
we
have
ever
asked that
explained it to
earlier.
you.
No.
So basically, now what's going to happen is Matt is going to pick 2 topics from a generator. We're each going to get assigned one. So what are they? Maybe this can kind of be a practice. Or like
Yeah.
this will be a casual first round.
This will be a casual first round. We'll
walk
keep it
you through
cash, and then the next
the
round.
best way to explain is just to do it.
We'll add guardrails and structures as it goes on, and
Yeah.
and it'll grow ever the more challenging by the microsecond.
You're sort of the hatchling of this pod. This first one is you just leaving the shell of the egg. So
Yeah.
there's really nothing to fear except for
Fear itself, of course.
Yeah.
Wait, Jack, you're going to be arguing in favor of a car model.
of my choice.
A car model of your choice.
Excellent.
So Nathan, you're going to be arguing in favor of a historical event of your choice, and you're going to be arguing in favor of it, why it's great,
A
why it is
historical event.
better, why it's better than whatever Jack argues in favor of.
Okay.
And
we begin with an opening statement. And so
yeah.
I'll do my opening statement now, just to kind of dive in. So my car model, I'm picking the Hummer. And I'm picking it because Turtle drove it in Entourage. I'm picking it because it stands for everything this nation stands for. It's like a monstrosity and kind of like terrible for the environment, but it's like you're in it and you're like above everyone else and they're below you and you can run them over. And it is like, I feel like it really is the symbol of that like Bush era hype America, right as right before 2008, like the crest of the housing crisis in that amazing time. And so any historical event could only pale in comparison to that era, that Hummer, what that stands for. And I will yield my time.
Okay. Here's my opening statement. The December to Remember Lexus event of 2007 in Bellevue, Washington was the greatest day in American history.
whoa.
The December to Remember Lexus event in 2007 had some of the best deals on Lexus that you could have statewide, nay, nationwide.
Wow.
It was a great day for purchasing your own Lexus. 0% APR,
Very good.
only $10,000 down payment. $10,000 down payment on a Lexus. A boon for nationwide car manufacturing and a boon for the car owners of America. I yield my time.
Wow.
Okay, well,
Now the floor is open for you two to sort of attack each other and dismantle your
I
arguments.
think a Hummer just would destroy the entire Lexus event just as it peels out. Massive tires crushing a puny Lexus.
Okay, that's very interesting that you say that, but a Lexus is kind of the finer vehicle. It's a little bit nicer than a Hummer. It's a little bit more luxury, and drivers everywhere were driving them.
Look, I think this classism of the Lexus versus Hummer, I won't stand for it. Simply because the Hummer achieves the status because it's timeless and it is now just a part of that era. They've tried to revive it, but they can't. You know, the OG Hummer as a car model is perfect. Lexus, you know, it embodies many different sizes and models, and you don't need all that.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And you know what? Specifically, I'm not even arguing Lexus. I'm arguing against your historical
That's
event of that
that's
moment.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's right.
And no one remembers that historical event. Think about what about the founding of the United States?
I think a lot of people remember that.
Yes, and no one remembers this Lexus event. The Hummer eclipses this trash Lexus event.
I mean, you say this, but there's so many people all across the state of Washington and in Bellevue, Washington, that depend on a Lexus for everyday transit. A Lexus can last you 10, 15 years. That's a car that can stick around with you for a while. If you go outside on the streets, you'll see Lexus models from 2005 driving around, and they're still going strong. So this was a boon for the many people in a small area.
Do you think these same Lexuses are being driven from this one event? It seems like it had a small impact, you know? I'm sure most of these Lexuses have now been
I mean, how can you quantify impact? The impact that this event had was very great for a very small amount of families.
But I think what really, you know, determines the greatness of a historical event is often the breadth and how many people it can impact, you know?
I mean, who's to say? I mean, maybe the 10 people who got Lexuses that morning all had a great deal of happiness. So much joy, in fact, that it cancels out the joy of millions.
No. I will say that by that logic, a single Hummer driver dwarfs this entire event. Because when you see Turtle's face in that Hummer, and he's scrunched up and he's driving, we're going to the audition, and they're fucking cruising as the entourage music blast.
That's what Hummer drivers sound like.
That's what a Hummer driver sounds like. Yeah.
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 Sounds just like that.
Well, do you want to hear what a Lexus driver sounds like?
Yes,
after he's
please.
purchased a Lexus at the December to Remember Lexus event in 2007.
Like December to forget. Ha!
I love Christmas and I love my family. I'm driving my Lexus home, honey.
So you've disturbed me. I don't want that. That does not sound like a satisfied customer. That sounds like someone who's about to go home and kill his family and bought a car on a whim just so he can dispose of it quickly.
No, how dare you?
Yes.
No purchaser of a Lexus in Bellevue in 2007 at the December to Remember deal has a criminal record. Believe me.
Really?
None.
I think
They're highly discerning.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Interesting.
Yes.
no.
So I have a question
Let's-
about this event. The 2007 December to Remember December to Remember sales event in Bellevue, Michigan, Washington.
Bellevue, Washington.
Is that right? With all the
That's where
finer
I'm
details.
from,
Washington. Okay, yeah,
Pretty
2007.
difficult to remember.
My question about this event is, what was the policy on drivers driving off that lot with bows on top of the cars, and how does that make you feel?
Well, the thing about bows on the top of your car is you can't drive them into the strip malls, into the strip mall parking garages because of the clearance. Because the bows, they put them on top.
Sure.
And that was kind of like the down. That's the harder part of the story to talk about, because after buying the Lexuses, the families they can't go to the strip malls. They can't purchase wonderful brands.
There's always sadness in every beautiful story.
Not in the Hummer though. Where's the sadness there? I asked my opponent.
I mean, the greatest event isn't necessarily the happiest. It can also be the saddest. And it's about tragedy in the arc.
So, so I guess that you've proved my point that the Hummer it cannot be sad. It's not tragic, and your historical event is sad by comparison. What about the little kids standing by wishing they could have a Lexus freezing in the Washington cold?
Yeah,
That's horrible.
It's a good point.
That's horrible. I would never want to remember that. I'd rather be in my Hummer. You can't. When you're in a Hummer, you're in your own world.
There's
It's like a spaceship.
tragedies. I mean, it's 2007. The war is raging in the Middle East. There's great tragedies happening, and then there's this isolated event where a couple dozen families purchase Lexuses, and it's the dichotomy that makes it such a great event.
I think the event is frightening. I think it's a scary event. I think it gives me chills. It gives me chills on my spine. Just think that this one corporation, Lexus, is keeping little children out in the street. Forbidden. If a little boy said, "It's Christmas, I want a Lexus. Magic of Christmas, give me a Lexus," his order would not be fulfilled because Lexus
You know what scares me?
does not have a policy that would enable that.
What scares me is the mileage per gallon that a Hummer in 2007 would have gotten compared to a Lexus in 2007.
But that's the point.
What scares me is the destruction of our environment. What scares me is the needless and the reckless consumption of our earth. And the Lexus, while not the best car, had a slightly better mileage per gallon than the Hummer. The Hummer's not very good.
No, the Hummer miles per gallon is terrible, and I think it's because it stands for the raging consumerism, the little Tasmanian devil that lives within the heart of this nation, every American. The need to consume constantly, just pound through gallons of gas every moment. Whereas the Lexus event, extremely harmful to the environment for no reason, just to build cars to sell them to a few families in Washington. Taking out that whole lot, that could have easily been something good for the community, like a Hummer dealership or a Hummer sales event. Instead, we're giving these posh Washingtonites, their coastal elite luxury hybrid cars.
They're not hybrid.
They're not?
Maybe some are, but
Okay.
I'm not saying they're the best car. I'm saying
Okay, that's right.
they're
So middle of
okay.
the road car.
Yeah, a little bit better.
We're a
than
nation
some.
of extremes. And if you stand in the middle like a Lexus, you'll get hit by traffic coming at you in both directions.
Wow.
And
Oh, I have a.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I did have a question actually for Nathan. Did your family attend the sales event?
We attended a few years prior, but the event in 2007
That was the greatest
was the
historical.
greatest one.
Why is
Okay.
that the greatest, as opposed to the one your family attended?
Everybody at the country club got a Lexus on the same day.
Wow,
Whoa.
that's iconic. There must have been a sales pro on the floor there.
Yep.
Wow.
That's the real hero of this story. I wonder who I aspire to.
Every family at the country club had the best summer of 2007, but they couldn't go into any shopping malls.
Bose.
Right, because the
The
bows.
Bose. Yeah.
That's really a shame. But I guess it kind of made them like an exclusive group. You know what I mean?
Cool. You're part of that. And also, like, if someone else had a Lexus later, then it's like you're not in the.
like you just got a
You
Lexus.
weren't. You had to. You had to be there.
You had to be there.
Oh,
To be
that's
there at the
pretty sad.
2007 Bellevue, Washington Lexus December to Remember sales event. Come on. You
Yeah.
had to be there.
Charming, yes. Great historical event, nah. Hummer defeats this blip on the map.
Great. Again, great is how you quantify it. Just because something is remembered does not mean it's great. But the thing is, it was the December to remember.
Okay,
Wow.
so in that case, it is
Everybody remembers it.
okay. I think I'm ready to do my closing statement.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to hear some closing statements.
Who do you
Jack.
want to hear from first?
Jack, why don't you do a closing statement?
Okay, look. I can hear the entourage music playing in the background of my mind as I yeah. Look, I wanna
Superhero.
yeah, it's so good. But yeah, you're just fucking on a cloud as you drive the Hummer down the road. You're sitting above everyone else, looking down on them. That music's playing, and it's something that can.
It's your closing statement.
That's my closing statement. It's my closing statement. That's it. Have I ever
Oh,
driven?
no.
Have I ever?
Oh,
Have I ever
no.
been in a Hummer? It's neither here nor there, folks. It's neither here nor there. You know, have you been to the pyramids, folks? Come on. But I gotta say, it's really something beautiful to be in the greatest vehicle of all time, and it's something that we can connect with as we feel ourselves in our body. We become one with machine driving down the road. You are in the middle of the Iraq War, back here in the States, experiencing a great housing boom, great stock market, George Bush time, Fluffy just dropped. It's the greatest comedy special ever created since then as well. And you're on top of the world in your car, driving down the road, and it could last forever. It lasts more than a sales event that lasts a few weeks. Your Hummer, you're driving in that for years. You're capturing an entire era in a single car. Versus a sales event where, frankly, something to remember, let's be honest. Yeah, it may have been fun for a summer, driving to lecture with the homies, but no one's talking about that event anymore. I yield.
Nathan.
All right. First of all, I want to address the jury here and apologize for my interruption during my counter-arguer's closing statements.
No, it's even. I'm interrupting now.
Yes, I was going to say, if you are permitted one heckle during
No,
my
I
speech.
wasted it.
Now that's
And now it's a penalty. No, and I wasted even
now
more.
it's a penalty
Shit.
if you go again, and the jury will count it against you. However, I apologized, and you have to accept my apology, and you have to accept my apology.
I accept your apology.
Thank you.
What, are you just not going to accept it? What? So you're not
What are
gonna?
you- what are you
I don't know
miming?
what you're talking about.
You're
Is
miming-
it- I don't do.
Three.
What?
I think
one
he's trying-
word. One word.
Is-
One word. 2 words. 2 words.
No, I accept your apology.
Yes. Okay. So now the structure of debate is reformed, and we can complete the ceremony. All I have to say is that this is a dangerous man standing opposite me. He's a dangerous man.
Now we should be friendly.
And
Extremely chill guy.
he's trying to convince our listeners that the December to Remember event was a boring, uneventful experience for many. And he's trying to convince you that the Hummer was a good thing for American society. That's the argument he's trying to make, is that the Hummer was a symbol for American prosperity in the moment, but it is only leading to the poisoning of our planet. The Hummer's mileage per gallon is miserable. Meanwhile, the Lexus had a reasonable mileage per gallon. Not great, not as good as it maybe could have been, but it was okay. And it drove my family around for 15 years. That's the car I grew up driving. That's the car that I had to say goodbye to one day because it got a little too old. But that represents such a magnitude of personal experience in terms of highs and lows, such as not being able to go to the strip malls. Because of the magnitude of these events, the December to Remember event of 2007 in Bellevue, Washington was the greatest moment in American history. I yield my time.
Wow.
Okay.
There was a point where I was going to give this to Jack because your family did not attend that event. But I must say that because of these little snafus that were going on during your closing statement,
Why I oughta.
because Jack couldn't keep his shit together, I got to give it to you, Nathan.
Thank God. Thank you so much for this honor. I respect your debating abilities.
I'm pissed.
And I apologize once again for my lapse in decorum during these events.
No, he was trying to draw my hand. He was successful. No, Your Honor, I respect your decision.
Oh boy. All right, here to get my back in. I'm
Here.
gonna point the camera up. I'm gonna type.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. This is all prototyping. This is beta.
You didn't do it right.
You don't. You can just look down. It's not a big deal.
Film it. Well,
No, my password.
we can edit over it.
I could edit it out.
These horrible people, these horrible, horrible people that watch us. I can't stand them. I can't stand them, folks.
Yeah. If you're listening right now, stop listening. We're gonna talk shit about you.
Yeah, I can't stand these guys. They're so silent.
Yes.
They're like the fucking silent generation. The way they listen, but they don't speak.
No.
They don't speak.
I want to hear from. If you're listening right now, prove it. Say something. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Give us in the comments. Do a baby Yoda, either a baby Yoda quote or like
Something related to Grogu.
something about
Yeah.
Grogu.
Some Grogu content, either a quote, either just
A
like
short story.
yeah,
Maybe
a
you
short
have
story.
about
Any
you
way you
and
want to interpret
Grogu.
the Grogu prompt.
a fan theory.
Let us know you're there.
Think about it as a writing assignment.
Yes.
for the week.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
have to do it right now. You can even think about it, come back to it. But just so we know you're listening at some point, some Grogu related media in the comments.
I really, really want to see a Grogu related comment because if not, then that really is proof that
We're talking into the void.
That we're throwing stones into nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who can resist
You can resist
baby Grogu?
Yeah, nice
Baby
chance to
Yoda.
grow
He's
out.
he's like Yoda, but he's little.
And he's cute because the issue with Yoda at his
Right.
core, at the base, concept of the character, like my issue with Star Wars, and the reason I think Star Wars is nothing but bad movies, is that Yoda is not cute.
Right.
Yoda is not cute.
He's not meant to be cute though.
See,
No,
that's my issue.
He's kind of supposed to
An
be
old
ugly.
man.
I don't.
guy.
I think if there's a movie character that isn't like a human,
It should be cute.
it should be cute.
Right.
That's why Jar Jar's so good because he's adorable.
He's adorable.
and he's so fun.
Well, just think about it: the minions, the cute side characters in every other animated movie, and then also Jar Jar.
Yep.
Here's my question. What happened to animated characters like flying through the air, slanting splat on a window,
And then-
and then going sliding down really slowly? along the window.
I love that, especially when they fall off the ledge of the window and end up sliming a guest.
Yes.
I
And they're
love
not
the
doing it
slime.
anymore.
Well, yeah, because of woke.
Right.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why?
Because it's not woke to hit flat against a window and then slowly slide off of it and slide guest underneath.
We're the only ones brave enough to talk about this anymore. What's up with that?
Yeah, well, I heard, and this is just a rumor. This is just
Yeah.
hearsay, but I heard Trump's talking about bringing that back.
Yeah, that's actually Project 2025 in a nutshell, is bringing back the Splat Initiative.
Yeah, he said he was going to launch an investigation or something. At least see like what could be done about it legally, because constitutionally it's murky. But
Yeah.
we could do
We could
something
get
about this.
Get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to get our best lawyers on this.
We can bring it back.
And the lawyers actually brought me 2 topics.
Oh whoa!
If y'all are ready for them.
I am.
All right. Nathan.
Okay.
You'll be debating in favor of an occupation of your choice. And Matt, an insect. And whenever you're ready, Nathan, for your opening statement, you may begin, but also vamp if you need time to think.
No, okay. I have mine.
All right.
My occupation that I am advocating for is lion taming.
That's awesome.
Very nice. My give an opening statement.
Oh, I have to give my
Yeah, you
entire
give your
opening
opening
statement.
statement.
Okay. All right. Lion taming is the greatest sport and the greatest profession in American history. It is sport. It is occupation. It's art. The art of lion taming involves taming and mastering one of the most deadly beasts of all time. There is a dark side to lion taming, and I will go into that as well. But at the end of the day, lion taming is the greatest and most passionate art form in American history, in global history, even.
Sweet.
I yield my time.
right.
I'm going to be arguing in favor of the spotted lanternfly.
Wow. Interesting.
So the spotted lanternfly came in with a bang. Everyone was talking about the spotted lanternfly. We can't really say this about other insects. No one really gives a shit. The murder hornets showed up and caught some headlines, and then didn't have any stamina. No one. They didn't They were a flash in the pan. And the spotted lanternfly. So I keep saying spotted. The spotted lanternfly. It keeps popping up, and when you notice one, you remember everything you've been told about them. What are the things that we've been told about the spotted lanternflies?
Eat them and
Eat them.
Okay.
Yeah. No, come on,
Kill
man.
them.
You got to stomp them out
Yeah.
because they're harmful to our ecosystems, because they eat leaves and get in the way of other food cycles and food chains. And they're no good, and they're not even really from here. And unfortunately, in the world of animal food chains, there is sort of that xenophobia is sort of pertinent. It's sort of important to the way those sort of food chains work. Otherwise, animals die out, and then we have extinctions. So I think the great thing about the spotted lanternfly, it's significant. If we're talking about significance, having a great impact, it is the great man of insects, the insects that have impacted history. Spotted lanternflies have left their mark like no lion tamer ever has. I yield my time. Oh my god, it's the Rizzler. Oh my god, it's you ever watch the Costco guys?
Yeah, that it's like a.
I know about those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful opening statements. That was just the Rizzler transitioning us into the opening debate.
Thank you, Rizzler.
Yeah. I'll do a face as well. This is my this is my customary face.
Yeah.
And this is for the listeners. I want them to listen to the face that I'm about to do. That's my debate face.
Okay.
Awesome.
And I just want to submit that to the judges for 5 extra points.
Okay, I'll
That's
take
really
that
nice.
submission into consideration. I'm gonna need a face from Matt as well.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And for the listeners, I'm gonna react to the face, so my reaction will kind of give you a glean into what the face Matt is making.
Okay. Oh my god, that's a good reaction to the face.
That was sort
it's
of
not. It's not the face I made.
No,
but
no, but it was a good
it's a
reaction.
reaction to the face.
So,
So listeners, if you want to sort of imagine what my face was like, what you need to do is
pause the video there at that point,
and then sort of put in your head, what you think Jack's reacting to.
And I want you to describe it in your essay on Grogu.
Yeah. Please
yeah.
add that in, somehow integrate that into the Grogu assignment.
Yeah, and let's say we don't want to be too harsh here, but let's say, come on, at least 150 words.
Yeah.
At least 250 words, guys. Come on, this is not.
This is not. You're not kids
anymore. This is a college level
anymore.
assignment. This isn't like.
This is it's 12 pages MLA citations.
Yeah.
This is a paid internship.
It's not actually. It's not MLA. It's Chicago APA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the professors use.
But we expect greatness from you.
Yeah. We want you to upload it on JSTOR if you don't mind.
Yeah, at least use a few JSTOR citations. If not,
yeah, but we also we don't just want it on JSTOR. We'd like you to submit it on JSTOR, and additionally, we would like you to submit it as a comment on this podcast so we know that you listened.
Yeah.
Can you get a podcast peer reviewed?
We could. Yeah.
Could we get that to happen?
I think we need to get this. We should have a peer reviewer in every episode,
like a fact checker.
Yeah.
Like get all our stuff on the. Like Snopes.
We should do that. We should also have someone else here taking minutes on a really loud typewriter. The entire podcast.
Sure, just so if someone wants to read along,
transcribe it. Yeah.
So it'll be easier to pinpoint the exact moments that you can put in your essay.
Yeah, that's how you can incorporate.
At 00:38. It was very interesting, or colon 45. That's where you get a very fascinating moment where they were discussing slime. Probably that was probably like 45 minutes into this, right?
Yeah, we were sliming.
We were discussing slime, and then we were like, okay, let's start our first debate.
We can cross-reference the citation with slime diagrams.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're doing a debate here.
Floor's open, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was a productive conversation.
That was good. Well, that was a transition.
Good.
We needed that after our faces.
Well, especially because I'm about to give so many great points that need to be fact-checked, and I expect the same of my opponent.
Yeah. Yes.
But I just want to begin by opening it up with a question to you. Why do you think the destruction of American society and American agriculture and American biomes can compare to the noble art of lion taming?
Lion taming is animal abuse.
There is a dark side to lion taming, and I said I would get into that. But I think the most important thing is the art of a good lion tamer, one that doesn't hurt the cat. They're hard to find. You can't find those anymore.
Sure,
it's all turned to animal abuse.
It's
but
woke now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's really the whole thing's just reeks of woke. I kind of can't stand even talking about it, but for the sake of the debate, of course, you can talk about whatever.
Oh,
you like.
I mean, but talk about something that's woke. The spotted lanternflies. Hello.
Spotted lanternflies are not woke. The spotted lanternflies are based.
That's like a very you've been fixing bread prices kind of thing.
What are you talking about, Nathan?
The spotted lanternfly goes to the polls. I was at the polls. I was at the primaries, and I see a spotted lanternfly right by me.
Are you accusing them of stuffing ballots?
Like a baby one. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying there's maybe some nefarious things going on, and there's been a lot of instability and a lot of division in this country lately. I have to say.
I've noticed this as well.
I have to ask whether maybe the spotted lanternflies aren't contributing to the problem. The problem was certainly there before them, but everyone's on edge. Everyone's.
No, I think it really genuinely brings people together to have an animal that they're allowed to like culturally and socially. It is beyond acceptable to kill this thing, and I think people need that kind of release in their lives. Because for instance, I don't know, unless there's like a bug in the kitchen or whatever. I'm not too murderous when it comes to animals, you know. But I see like maybe a roach or something once in a while.
I mean, it
Get
sounds
that
like
shit out of there.
it sounds like you're arguing for animal abuse.
But-
is what I'm
The
getting.
spotted lanternfly, everyone agrees deserves it. Everyone agrees the spotted lanternfly, and it brings people together because there's like you get it, and there's like a release. It's like,
Did the animals agree to that? Did the spotted lanternfly agree to that?
well,
they did
socially,
not. It's,
humanity,
it's
we're
the-
superior.
I'm not denying that man is superior to animal.
Well, clearly not. You're arguing in favor of
I'm
lion
just saying
taming.
I'm just saying that the history of animal abuse is no laughing matter.
Certainly
and
not.
The lion tamers are need to go punish the ones who are hurting the animals.
Absolutely. Get
Yeah.
them out of here.
And that's something very, very important that everyone who's listening understands. And that animal abuse is not okay. And it's troubling that you're bringing spotted lanternflies into the conversation, and you're like giving that story oxygen. We need to stop talking about the murder of animals.
The way I see it, if there is like the axis of like, this is animal abuse, and from like most to least acceptable, most and least moral.
Sure.
Most moral is killing the spotted lanternfly. Least moral is lion taming.
I'll give you that there's some morality in like that the spotted lanternflies are like the destruction of the environment, and like lions didn't ask for what they are in.
Certainly not. They've been removed from their throne as the king of the jungle.
Right.
The savannah.
I'm just saying we need to put
woke
lion
again.
tamers to an end, bring back humane lion taming in lions' natural habitats.
So
I have a question for both of you.
okay.
My first question for Nathan: What is it? What is a lion like? What even is lion taming exactly? Like you tame it, and then like what happens? Like, do you do tricks, or is it just like hang with you? Like, what does a taming a lion mean?
Yeah, so
Just so we can get that cleared up.
Yeah, so as I understand it, there's a few different ways to approach lion taming, and there's the inhumane way, which is somebody captures a lion from the savannah, brings it into a barge, ships it overseas, abuses it and teaches it how to do tricks. And then there's people who are just chilling with their lions that they have, right? Like
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic had the tigers.
Yeah.
There was like a tiger in that one New York City apartment that one
Really?
time. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know if you
Sure.
knew about that. But it happened. And that's just like a noble art. It's definitely cruel to the lions to keep the New York apartment. But I'm just saying, we're not advocating for the murder of all animals.
No, I'm certainly
and
not.
you're advocating for the purging of spotted lanternflies from our society
Well,
when they have a voice. I'm not saying that we're doing the wrong thing. I'm just saying we need to at least hear their side of the story.
I think they're the ideal scapegoat for our society.
I actually Matt, are you ready for your question?
Yeah.
What is what is the devil's advocate? What are the spotted lanternflies? What is their side? What is their side of the story? Because I do feel like we
Spotted
have the right to hear,
lanternflies.
because they don't have anyone here defending them. Nathan is obviously
They
not
just
a pro.
decided to like come
Right.
here. I think it was through like accidental transport over like a
Right.
barge. Speaking of barges, it's not. They're not sympathetic. They're not refugees. They're not here for a better life. They're like fucking around, and they're certainly finding out.
You should see the bottom of Matt's boot right now, listeners.
It's covered
like
in
a
spotted
layer of spotted
lanternflies.
we need to start
just
putting
go
up
off for hours.
like some
Picasso. Right.
inflammatory like posters about spotted
Yeah.
lanternflies. Like get the fury back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
People
Get
are
the
like
people
chill
angry.
with it. I think
need to
they've
get them
grown
riled up.
complacent.
Yeah, I think it's like it's gonna be really beautiful. It's gonna be like a Jackson Pollock painting.
But I think that's the problem with spotted lanternflies, and why you can't in good faith argue for it, is because the lanternflies speak to the systemic crumbling of society. Our are forgetting of the importance of animal abuse and how dangerous that is and how horrible and cruel that is.
No, I think they're a bright light in a dark world.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just, to what you're saying about, like, lion tamers, like, what's so great about them? Well, there are a lot of bad ones, but there are some good ones, and that's fine, I guess. I feel like you're more interested in, like, reforming, like, the world of like, lion taming than, like, actually, like, arguing in favor of it.
So we have two crusaders here. A crusader in favor of reforming this, and you just want to kill? That's sort of your...
My MO is killing can
red.
be good.
He like the Kill Bill sirens are going off in his head, and he's going psychotic on these things.
Now, how do you respond to these allegations of your fury and your bloodlust?
I think it does apply to the spotted lanternfly. I think they're like little devils, and I think they're like perfect. Like they give us the perfect pressure valve. It's the reason I don't like walk down the street and I see someone and I ask them, "Excuse me, sir or madam, are you woke?" And they say, "Well, why, yes, I am." And I say, "Oh," and then and I can't help but do something horrible. Probably, punch, kick,
just throw a total temper tantrum on the street. Yeah,
throw myself on the ground and start like pounding my fists.
Yeah.
Because they're woke, and I'm like, that's so fucking wrong.
Break all your toys.
But it keeps me in check. I know how to behave myself among the wokes.
I mean, this is what troubles me is when I walk along the street and I see Matt and he's surrounded by lanternflies. He's laughing, he's cackling, he's stomping with abandon. It's a scary sight to behold, and I don't think he's a good person for making an argument for lanternflies on this podcast.
No, I think it's just like imagine I'm in a rage room. Imagine in a rage room, you know those?
Yeah, but you're not doing it in a rage room, Matt. You're doing it on the side of the street.
Yeah, and I'm improving the environment for it and, mending.
You gave someone a black eye the other week because you were trying to punch a lanternfly on their head.
It was a mistake. Are we not allowed to make mistakes anymore? Says the guy who's arguing in favor of lion taming, as if half of those haven't ended in horrible tragedy.
Yeah, but
Yeah, nice. I think I'm ready for closing.
Wait, who do you want to hear from?
Let's hear from Matt because Nathan went first for the.
Okay. Yeah, lion taming. I'm not hearing much good about it. It seems like it's very much like a net neutral thing that has like a lot of negatives. But if you ignore the negatives, then it's fine. Spotted lanternflies have brought the American Northeast, full East, I don't even know, a large swath of this a large population, at least, swath of this country together around a mutual energy. No humans have to be hurt. Mistakes get made, but no one has to get hurt. It's just like killing the objective bad guy. It's just like if an alien crashed down to Earth and was just like trying to like destroy us. Like we'd all be on the same page about killing that vile creature. And we know what the spotted lanternfly does. This isn't conjecture. We know what the spotted lanternfly does. And I'm thankful for it every day because it brings us together. I yield my time.
All right, Nathan.
Everybody, we have a serious problem on our hands. And that problem is animal abuse. Animal abuse impacts many, many kinds of animals. It impacts pets. It impacts animals that live in the wild. It impacts our oceans. And it impacts insects living on the streets of New York. And I think animal abuse is a scary problem for many reasons, but I think the chief reason is because animal abuse is cruel to animals that don't have voices for themselves. Insects don't have voices for themselves, and we have here a troubled man. A man who wants to bring animals down, who wants to destroy the creatures that have no voice, no foot or place on the trading table, so to speak. And I'm advocating for the regulation of animal abuse. I'm not saying that we should go back to the woods, but I am arguing for taming lions in controlled environments with their consent. I think that is a great thing, and I think it's a thing many people need to be aware of, and many people need to be aware of the dangers that lion tamers pose to society. I yield my time.
Okay. Wow. Riveting. Two fabulous debates. I think I prefaced my decision by saying Matt is an absolute psychotic madman, not to be trusted, dangerous threat to society, but I still think he won. I think you almost swept, but I think I just ultimately realized that you were arguing in favor of stopping animal abuse, but also your topic was lion taming. And I think when I realized that, I was like, okay, I think Matt has a slight edge. But other than that, it's fabulous.
No, this was a rather fabulous debate all around. I reckon.
Yeah, that was great, and this has all around been an awesome episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All around awesome. Nathan.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here on this podcast on this blessed day.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Glad to teach the audience something new.
Yes.
I look forward to receiving homework.
We're actually excited about these Grogu
assignments.
assignments.
Yeah,
what's your due date?
We're excited. So this episode's
Nathan. Yeah.
This episode's dropping this Friday. Bear in mind. So we'll need a due date on that assignment, and also perhaps something you'd like to plug.
Maybe a month.
Okay.
That's generous. It's for 250.
No, I think it's now it's no longer 250. It's bigger than that.
If we're giving them a month, if they have a month and citations, what are we saying? Like 800 words?
I think maybe 800 words, like a small essay, like a. Yeah. I don't think 800 is that long, but I think that could have some citations.
Yeah.
I think 800 to.
You want to just do double space 3 pages?
I think double space 3 pages is good.
Yeah, you don't need to cite with MLA.
You don't even have a thesis. You just need to what was it? It was Grogu.
Write an essay about baby Grogu and maybe like a slime recipe that like
some kind of slime
is
thing.
AI generated at the end.
Yeah.
Just like show us that you're listening.
Yeah,
that's all we want.
Show us
you can AI generate the whole thing.
You could AI if you just AI generate this thing.
But if you do that, you have to also include your favorite pictures. You need to at least like show us some visual aids.
Yeah, and you need to cite which AI you used to do your homework for.
You can use the AI to generate the baby Yodas too.
Yeah, but it has to be cute.
Yeah.
If I see like an old Yoda, like you're losing points.
Yeah, no, I think that's obvious.
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
It goes without saying.
Yep.
And you have anything you'd like to plug? Maybe help people know where to find you.
I've got a show at the Magnet on September 28th that I wrote with one of my very good friends. Ooh. It's like an hour scripted late night comedy show, and it takes place in the future. So it's going to have a lot of questions that it raises about where we're headed. It's going to be super fun. It's super weird. I'm excited about it.
Awesome.
Sick. Heck yeah.
Well, go to that show and go to hell, frankly. I just...
Whoa.
But, yeah,
we're going to have to take you to church.
Yeah.
This.
My plug is I'm plugging hell, which is, where any number of us could go.
And I'm plugging God.
Yeah. And I'm plugging Jewish God.
Oh, much meaner. All right, that's the show, everyone. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Better eat your apples. Don't forget your oranges. Better eat your apples. Don't forget your oranges. Apples and 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 oranges.